What's going on, guys? Another one of these videos. Looking at the replays. Obviously, I'm gonna be looking at the last replay of this one. Today, I just want to discuss, I guess, rerolls or saving the important units in your roll for later. Let's jump right into this game. I do want to mention one other thing too. I really have not played well like this entire weekend. I'm not sure what was up with me. There were moments where let's just watch. There were moments where I'm on point or I'm focused in the game. I'm not always focused, but there's a few things that I don't know how to explain it. Like, usually I'm on top of, let's say, pushing a worker or pushing the wisp. Sometimes I'd be looking at, like, my goal that's at 200, and I still haven't pushed. Usually I'm always pushing as the level starts. And it's like this weekend I just kept forgetting to do that for some reason. I don't know why I was distracted. Even just, like, the smallest things matter, because you're getting less crystals. And at one point you're gonna see at like level 9, just not paying attention at all. Like, I was pre-sending for level 10 when we were about to send on 10. Maybe the other team thought it was a bait. You never know. Maybe I mind gamed them. But I don't remember the last time I've done that, where I literally pre-sent the level before and we were really sending the level after. So it was happening when the timer was going down, but like, I don't remember the last time I did that. Okay, anyways, let's jump right into this game. Teams are a little unfair, as you can see. Got a lot of pro players on the other team there. So, first thing I want to take a look at here is everybody's rolls. This guy got a good synergy with either tridents or also gate guards, and I believe he goes gate guard start because he starts with dark mage and no, not dark mage. He starts with gate guard, so I'm assuming he went gate guard and this. But anyways, I'm here to show you guys what I do immediately as the game starts and they type in the modes. Instantly push the wisp. You can always cancel it if you see that you don't have a good roll, because you do get it refunded back. As you can see right here, you have 30 seconds. It says 28 seconds, but that's because I was already training the wisp. You have 30 seconds to decide if you want to keep this roll or not, which obviously I don't, because this isn't a good starting roll right here. A lot of people would maybe start with spawn a dragon and maybe a few meat wagons. Maybe I could have done that, but I actually decided to reroll this one right away. But keep in mind, if you do want to reroll right away, there are a few handy units in this roll. So, the more experience you have in this game, the more you learn to quickly decide which units you want to keep. So, for example, one Malile or one Ranger is good to put down, because it's always going to be useful for level 10. And also a meat wagon right here. I mostly just wanted to reroll this because I wanted a roll with high push. If I'm going to be going against these guys. I mean, these guys are all pro players right here. He doesn't have the best roll there, as you can see, but he does try to YOLO something. He probably was just also doing it for fun. You'll see his build afterwards. And yeah, that's pretty good also. Troll Fighter with... Well, actually it's not that good. I mean, for the early levels, it's not so easy. I'm guessing he did tribes, I don't know. But anyways, we want to take a look at Orange's roll too, because I believe this guy rerolled right away on level 1. He put down the giant spider and built a few bones. I also don't blame him for rerolling. I mean, this wasn't the best roll. But I mean, he did also have Priest, which could be useful. With the giant spider. So he builds... Okay, so see what I did? I put down a meat wagon and this because I was trying to get better push. And I ended up getting this roll. As you can see, right at this moment, how much time did I waste? I still have 14 seconds to decide whether I should cancel this Wisp or not with the units that I was given over here in my second roll. Now that I look back into this replay, I feel like I maybe should have kept that first roll. I probably could have played Spawn a Dragon with Priest. I mean, I could have made a few meat wagons also. But anyways, I wasn't playing well basically this whole weekend. So we're going to see all the misplays I make here. And then this guy was going to play landmines, which, sure, I don't mind him doing that. I mean, he doesn't have a better role here. So yeah, let's get started with the replay here. Yeah, he does reroll. I do say fuck my life because I still want a roll with better push. But to be honest, this isn't the worst roll. It's pretty good. It's a decent roll, it's just not good for early game. Why do I say it's not good for early game? Because if I want to succeed for early game, I have to make a ton of gate guards. Like maybe 4 more for level 3. And making gate guards will weaken you for later levels. Especially in the solo lane. This unit is very weak in the solo lane. It's a very good unit to play in dual lane. Like, this guy could have probably just done spawn gate guards. He's got a really good role for that. He's got Young Witch Doctor. And then he could also get Dark Mage if he wants to use that. And this guy does Proton Spawn. He does, I believe, have to overbuild. Yeah, I think he only stays 2-0. Oh no, he does push an extra 1. Okay. I never really tried Proton Spawn, but maybe, I guess that holds with 3-0. Because he's going for it. Okay, tries War Chief. I guess he would have leaked if it was a send, but we didn't send on level 1. Yeah, so he rerolled that. Yellow's kind of calling him out for that. I guess he could have kept that roll a little bit longer. Fire Archers are okay. Obviously this roll's not better than the one he had before. Yeah, you're gonna see here, there's not much to see on level 1. I misplay. Okay, that's very good positioning for the War Chief. Obviously, if you guys didn't know, this guy is the rank 1 player on Ent. But he's also been around very long, he knows the game inside out. Another guy that's very good and knows many different interesting and cool builds is Archer, or what a lot of people call his Ent name would be Inuya. But I think in Reforged it's like Archer, I think was his name. He's got a lot of like crazy, like funky, different builds. Like I've even seen him hold level 20 without a Seraphim before, which is insane. So yeah, not the easiest role, but I could see why he started with War Chief. His tribes are not easy to play in solo lane. We're gonna speed this up a little bit. I don't think there's a lot to watch here. I had the Sea Giant for level 2. Okay, he went for... I trust that this guy's doing the right thing. 5-1. He is holding after all, so... This is interesting. Upgrading a Harbinger. That's something that's not usually done. I'm not sure why this guy didn't build a Young Witch Doctor, actually. Okay. So yeah, he's forced to stay low push, because this just isn't good for early game. He already knows that. He's a pro player. Very good with the snipers there. I actually messed up. I should have been watching my screen. So let me start over real quick. It'll be quick. So, where did I misplay here on level 2? I literally called this out in the last video. Yellow made this misplay that I made. The same misplay. I literally called him out on it too, and then I make this mistake. Like, I wasn't even paying attention. Like, I didn't do anything here about it. Over here, you have to be mindful. This thing has 675 range. I probably built it too far in front. But maybe I could have even gotten away with making the meat wagon behind the Sea Giant. But anyways, what did I say in the first discussion video about the Sea Giant? This has a lot of hit points, and it needs to tank. Over here, I don't do anything at all, and do not push the Sea Giant forward. Look at that. Terrible. I needed to already push it forward as soon as that meat wagon was moving forward. Or, as I said, I could have probably built this... Well, actually the ranger would aggro, even if I built the Sea Giant behind. So if I move this guy forward earlier... Look at that. Positioning's terrible. If I moved him forward, he probably would have ran down the wall and maybe was right here. But at least he would be doing what I need him to do, which is tank. Even if he goes too far in front. So over here, this is very bad positioning. Not only do I lose the meat wagon, I also don't get this guy to tank. So now, we have serious issues here, where this thing's barely tanking anything, and my gate guards are getting surrounded and getting killed. Of course, all of this could have been prevented if I just made more gate guards. But like I said, making more gate guards in the solo lane will weaken you for the later levels. Unless, of course, you have like an insane... a good support for the gate guards, which I don't. I mean, the only thing I have here is mermaids. But even then, you really should not play this unit in the solo lane. But I did need it in order to hold, or try to help me hold on level 1. And potentially level 2 also. I could have held here on level 2 if I did this properly, but I didn't. So obviously the other team decides to send, and it's a good idea. Even though they see a scout of Giant Spider. I did want to mention one other thing. This guy did not have to make Thunderbird for level 2. He can just upgrade Dark Mage, and that's going to be really strong with Giant Spider. You get to push more as well if you do that. So, unfortunate for this guy, but maybe he didn't know. Giant Spider is 440 gold. That's exactly what he's saving for, so I applaud him for that. That he is saving for the Giant Spider upgrade, which is the Broodmother. That's exactly what he does, yep. But again, you don't need a Thunderbird if you have Broodmother and Fire Archer, which then becomes a Dark Mage. He even positions it here, wanting to make a Dark Mage after. But he could have actually just used it on level 2 and had better push, which is something to note. This guy playing landmines, good build. I think he's doing the right thing there to push the right way. So what do I do? I think I just make us. I actually don't. I think I was a little bit conflicted here.
Upgrade complete.
I upgrade the Harbinger. Yikes. So obviously I leak here because it's going to be a very big send. So after my mistake on level 2, I'm pretty sure I do move these guys forward. I remembered. I may have just been sleeping. I do have the footage of the actual gameplay. But yeah, this is... I could have maybe just had the Ranger in front, and I could have saved the meat wagon in the back. So, obviously when you have all these melee units, you can see what's happening here and why this isn't good. They're moving too far in front, and we're just getting surrounded by all the creeps. Also, Hermit, Windrider, or Wyvern is a very, very rough send versus me when I have Sea Giants. I do end up leaking here. But you also should not get discouraged if you do mess up or leak in the early game. As long as you bring it back later and you build the right units, then yes. So you saw from me in my first roll, what did we learn? I did put down the units that could be helpful for me for later. So I put down the Meat Wagon, which will become a Plague Spreader after level 10. I put down the Ranger for potentially other Pierce units on level 10, like Zeus, which I got in my next roll. What else should I be doing in this roll? What units should I be saving for later? Definitely mermaids. Over here, I kind of make an absurd amount of mermaids for no reason. You'll see later on. I don't know why I did this, but I do make an absurd amount of mermaids. I would say the most mermaids you maybe should make, depending on like how much or when you have to reroll, really. But I would like to just make 4 mermaids. You have like, when you go mid later, you have like maybe 1 here, 1 there, and 1 on the sides for the melee units that you built on the sides. Kind of have them, the Highborns, the healing aura, have those kind of go spread everywhere on your army. So maybe like 4 could be good enough for that. This guy was forced to play War Chief because I'm sure he wanted to get a few Zeus, and also he's got Troll Fighter in this role, so obviously needed to do that. Again, I don't like this guy's builds because I don't believe he makes any Heralds, because he wants to go Komodo, of course. Komodo's really strong with the healer and Dark Mage. And he's kind of just doing whatever gives him high push, so that's good, obviously. Because remember what we learned from last video. The higher income or the higher push you get for the early game, it will decide mostly on how your game will go. I had Pee-wees in the last video, and because I have high income and high push, my game went well. As long as you make the right units, of course, but generally, you saw Blue from last game, not this guy, but from last game, he had Pee-wee start, but he made a few mistakes. Either way, he still had high income, which helped him out a lot, so that's a good example, actually. Blue from last game. The guy that started with a W, I don't remember his name. Hey, this guy actually did that okay. He does leak here. I think we try to send on level 6, even though I don't look the best on 6. I actually didn't mind this guy's build. He made a few small landmines here, just in case a few creeps went by for the landmines. This will have to be for another video. I can't really show landmines. This is just about like what units I should be saving on the rerolls. Generally, 12 Zeus is a good idea to make for level 10. 12 is a good number. 16 is also good if you're playing in solo lane. But I like 12. Also, I don't remember how many Zeus I make. For some reason I was going with the Herald there on this wave, which is fine. Not a big deal. Good leaks from the mine player. That's one thing that you can do as a landmine player. You can try the pro leak, like what he did before the send. Us trying to send on level 6. Obviously this guy being the more experienced one on my team. So we can probably just speed through this. I do end up full selling the Herald because I was thinking to myself, melee units are just not it. Regardless. Why do I say that? A lot of the times on these melee rounds, if you don't have a lot of melee units, or melee units only, they will just die. Like, that one Herald, if I kept him, he's just gonna die. And if I upgrade more of them, I'm just gonna be weaker to level 7 and level 10. It's just not a good idea. I'm also gonna be weaker to level 8 also. That too. I do make the Malile for this level, trying to get that champion marked. Because when the Malile does mark a unit, pierce damaging units deal more damage to it. Such as the Zeus and the Mermaid, they all have pierce damage. Right now it is marked, but I believe not all my Zeuses are attacking the champion. As you can see, some Zeuses are attacking here, where the Hydras are in the front. Not all of them are attacking the champion, which is why I do struggle a little bit here. Another reason why I just haven't been playing well this weekend, again, not really being focused. I completely forgot that I had these in the back. I should have sent them in already by now, because the champion looks like it was creeping through the back. I completely forgot I had these, and I didn't use them. And I usually do remember to make them. So, only now, when this guy moves forward by himself, I realized, oh, wait a minute, I have gate guards in the back. I forgot I put them there. So then I call them in. So yeah, the other team doesn't send here, even though our team was weak to level 6. They got a scout of us. They don't send here, so what did they do? They went for king. They recognized their weakness and decided, let's not send here, let's just do king. So obviously, these guys have experience. I've already said that before, and they know what they're doing. Immolation. Of course, he doesn't have to provoke yet. He doesn't provoke at all because they have a high attack damage. A lot of the times, provoke is a waste of crystals. If you don't need it, you don't have to go for it for early game. This is more of something you should get for late game. Provoke is only good if you're leaking, like, let's say 2 or 3 champions and you don't have much king. Like, let's say you're just leaking 20 creeps, but, like, 2 of them are champions. You might want to go for provoke there if you have, like, no king at all. Anyways, I pushed a lot here. We tried... Oh, we resent auras. Right, I think that was Yellow's idea. Which, I mean, it's not a bad idea. Resend auras to try to get a scout was the mindset there. Yeah. I discussed this a few times. He only makes this now, which I think should have been made much earlier, like even on like level 2 or level 3. But we've discussed this in the first video. You're just making too much melee on top of melee. Like, I think he should have just built gate guards and not upgraded any of them. Or you just do gate guards only at the spawn with this and these two. Or maybe, I don't know. But for early game, you want to play this, not tridents. Really, tridents would be the best build with this and that. So it's hard to say, because like, you can make a few gate guards and then throw them back, send them in later, and then you just commit to tridents. Like, maybe he could have just done 5 of these, built a healer for level 2, and also made a few Komodos for level 3. Don't upgrade the Komodos for level 3 to tridents. It's just too much value into one unit. It's just not... I wouldn't recommend it. I think the small Komodos, especially with the healer, is definitely better for level 3. So yeah, I think he should have just not upgraded these at all if he wants to go and make use of this insanely OP build with Dark Mage and Healer with tridents. Not much to say here from the Grandmaster Gamer here. Just kind of, like I said, you want to make a good chunk of Zeuses for level 10. And obviously he needed to keep the role for Troll Fighter, so obviously he had to play War Chief. Using this to pull most of the units near the wall there. That's what that's for. A lot of players do that. Okay. Let's just go on with the game here. There's not much to see on level 7. I kind of just hold. It's a very easy build by me. So here, I wasn't actually expecting a send, but they did send on level 8. Yeah, he's quite weak here. He has a whole bunch of Thunderbirds. Thunderbirds are pretty good with Dark Mage, though, so that's not too bad. Remember, if you do make all these Thunderbirds, however, you are weakening yourself for level 10. But fortunately, he does have Nightcrawlers. And these guys are pretty tanky, so they can still tank for you on level 10. And also, of course, this is what a lot of players do with landmines. They know they're not holding anything on level 10 by doing landmines. So they tend to stack. So over here you see he made a Young Frost Dragon, preparing for level 10. He's going to build more on this guy. These are just not for beginner type of builds. The stacking, I should say. It's not really much... It's not really... I don't know. It's not complicated to learn. Like, you're just building on this guy. But, I don't expect a lot of beginners to play landmines. Just have to learn how to push and everything. This guy's doing pretty good, 9-9 push. You can get away with it with landmines. So I do end up holding this wave versus Send. As you can see, landmines clear pretty much almost everything. The only thing they cannot clear are the champions. So I do hold with a few Zeuses in the middle. I can't remember if we needed King, I don't think so. So here's an issue here. So we did mark the champion because we did have the Malile that survived there. So I was able to take out the champion. So automatically, if the other team's level 8 send doesn't go well, for example here, we had a holder, it was me. If the send didn't go well, and they're not too strong on level 10, they have high potentials to lose the game on level 10. Because I don't believe they did much King. But now they did King, of course. But yeah, they still didn't do the regen from earlier. I think they do it now. They must do it now. So we still have to keep that in mind. Even though this guy is Zeus, it's not said he's it's not said he's gonna hold. He doesn't have the best tanks here, as you can see from his rolls. Yeah. So you see what he did? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 17. He builds around 16, 17 Zeuses. Which I said 12 to 16 earlier. We generally, you gotta make that many to be pretty good on level 10. That's just something that you always do. Remember, Zeuses are not good to build early game. That's why he had to build other units to try to hold the early levels. He does have, however, Apparition, which is very, very good for level 10. We can just super speed this. I don't know... I don't think I... No, I don't reroll. I don't think I do. Anyways, before I reroll, like I told you guys, 12 to 16 Zeuses. A number around there. That's usually how many I make. Something to tank, which is what I did. I made Hydra in the front. Before you reroll, you also want to save Spectres. Those are really good for late game. Sometimes they're okay for level 10. I don't usually like to make them. But sometimes they could be good there. And I would say maybe 4 mermaids are good to make. And then you just reroll when you want to. I don't remember when I reroll, but I guess we'll see soon. So yeah, that's not really the best roll for this guy to hold level 10. So I could see why, spoiler alert, he does leak on level 10, even though he's got Apparition. As you can see, this guy knows he's not looking good level 10. He doesn't have tanks. He doesn't have good delay. So what does he do? He rerolls. And at least he gets some ogres, which is pretty good. So he understands that he's not weak, or not strong on level 10, even though he's got all this pierce damage. Because he realizes he doesn't have many tanks. That's why he rerolls. That's why it's the difference between a pro player and, you know, someone that's like just playing casually on Reforged, like Reforges do. So I actually put down a few Spectres just because I guess I'm getting ready to reroll soon. I misplayed the early game, as I told you guys. Oh, I missed, actually, you guys probably saw it from the replay earlier, but I actually sent by accident on level 9. I did mention that in the beginning. If you guys saw it while I was chatting about down here on level 9, I did send a few militias to them, and then yeah. Again, like I said, I really was not paying too much attention. Okay, he gets the Pudge, that's rough for him. This guy did not commit to Tridents, which is why he did bad. This is just not a good build at all, what he did. He's usually really good too, he just didn't play this the best. He's usually a good player. Like I said, the only thing you could really do with this role is Tridents, Dark Mage, and that. And like I told you guys, if you make Gate Guards, it's a liability on level 10. You're also making melee on melee. It just doesn't work. You can't just do Heralds plus Tridents. They just body block each other. Plus, this is a summoning unit. It's just so much melee. You can't get away with so much melee. Kind of like the last video, when I made mass peewees with tridents. So obviously, what I told you guys before, if they don't have a good holder on level 10, they can potentially lose the game here. On level 10, after they've sent on level 8, because they won't have enough king. So they needed a holder here. They only lose, I believe, 2 heals, so I guess it's fine. The only problem with this is that they're forced to upgrade king, and they have to stay low push, because they have to keep upgrading king. So they won't have as much push as us in arena. As you can see, this poor guy ended up staying 9-6 because he didn't kill much. I think he was just trying a fun build. So I can't blame him for that. Just to try something new, something different. That's a good role for him. Dark Mage and Dark Priest, very good. So before he rerolls, obviously he's gonna be saving a few Dark Priests, because these are insanely good for endgame to make. I go 9-11 and I have enough to upgrade Plague Spreader on level 11. He says worst rolls. I actually agree with him. That doesn't look good at all. They win arena, yep. Because they have more value than us, and also, landmines are not the best arena. So I believe I was expecting a... What was I expecting this game? A level 14 send, right? I think so. Over here, I almost misplay. I did move these Hydras forward, but I think I did it a little bit too late. So, my Plague Spreader is a little bit exposed here. Although the Plague Spreader does die, eventually, he still did his job. Look at all the units he plagued. Like, this is a lot of units he plagued. The whole level's pretty much done for. And also, I believe that champion... No, it's not marked. Never mind. Yeah, the plague is just dealing tons of damage. So the damage was already been... It's already done there. Does he leak here? No, he holds that. Yeah, he also wasn't the best this wave. We go level 12. I'm actually curious to see how they did so well, because they didn't seem very strong on 12, but they actually did pretty good. So let's take a look at what they did. He does do revive, which is what I was expecting. This guy does love doing this. Yeah, he goes Seraphim. I wonder if he's surged. I'm not sure. This is his best option. He's just too weak. Of course, you can say, oh, Oreo, but he's got Dark Priest. That's a magic unit. Magic's good against Enchanted. It's just not going to be strong enough. He doesn't have that many tanks. Even if you make mass ogres, it's not going to be good enough versus Suns. So he's trying this build out. And he usually does this with Elite Archers, Zeus. This is still viable to revive the Zeus. Okay, so this guy rerolled into... Oh, we missed his other reroll. Unfortunately. But we missed... So he made Druids. I saw that blue gave him a Troll Fighter, very good play. Especially for this level. I'm sure he was expecting us to send here, so... I don't think he had the Troll Fighter on level 10, unless I missed it. So his Zeus revived. He's making, I think, a few meat wagons, or not meat wagons, golems, to tank the wave a little bit. Not a bad play, because look how many hit points they have, and also they are heavy armored. So a lot of good decisions here. Even though they don't have an ability, they're just basically used to tank. As you can see, when they get revived, if I can click on it. Oh. Can I click on it? Alright, well the point is, he's got high hit points, this unit, and it's also heavy armor, and these creeps deal pierce damage, so he's using that to tank, and he's using this as DPS. Landmines automatically leak level 10, level 11, level 12, level 13. They do pretty good on level 14, actually, and level 15. This unit's OP with eggs and Plague Spreader for mid-game. If you get that in your roll, you're going to have a good game. If you get eggs and Plague Spreader, that's like something that you dream about. Just a god roll for landmine start. Okay, obviously I Plague Spread all the creeps with the Plague Spreader. I have Hydra here, so I'm never going to leak. I think I did encourage my teammates to insta-rage. He actually does really well at the spawn here, because defenders are also really good against pierce damage. At tanking the wave. Okay, not the best champion there, but he does pretty well still. That's a respectable clear. A decent clear, I should say. Even though he doesn't get the champion. Because remember, they weren't good this wave, so they still did what they best possibly could do to hold that wave. Yeah, they did the best that they could do to hold that, and that wasn't even a heal, so good enough. Okay. So yeah, like I said, this works because adepts deal good damage, and these guys have an ability you can't see. That's why he didn't leak much. I can't show you guys in the replay, but these guys take much, even though they are medium armor, they have an ability that they take less damage from pierce attacks. Just like when you play the regular ladder game, it's like a footman with defend ability. They take less damage from pierce. Except it doesn't bounce back on the creeps, of course, but yeah. So I still haven't rerolled. I think I made just an absurd amount of mermaids. I'm not sure why I did this. Like I said, just make 4. I really wasn't using my head too much, honestly. I'm pretty sure I'm coming close to rerolling now. As you can see, he did stack a few dragons on this guy's lane. Just want to see, yep, that's the moment in time that I do reroll. This is a good roll because I get Flying Machine. Pretty much my whole army is range, so Flying Machine is an excellent aura to get. And also cults are insanely good for late game, and also just good in general with my build. Because I have, like I said, I probably should have played that first rollout. I could have had more Maliles. I tried so hard to get better push, and I probably should have played that first rollout. Yeah. I definitely messed up. I could have had more Maliles, and Maliles are a very... They have good synergy with riders, with cults. Or any pierce unit, really. If you have a lot of Maliles, or at least 4, I probably would have made 4 if I kept that roll. Just to spread them out for later, and... yeah, again, I moved the Hydras in too late, so my Plague is gonna die. But I mean, I'm good this level, so it doesn't matter. I'm gonna super speed this a little bit. I believe they send on level 14. Psyop doing Psyop things. Yes, they do send. They also leak here. So... yeah, he goes for the double revive there. I think he just makes more of these guys to tank. Tridents are going to do well here as well. He does make a Medusa. So what happens here is, once again, not the worst positioning, but I still didn't... What I needed to do here, and I'll show you at the end of the level, what I should have done here. I do get a good champion, it does get marked, and it gets killed instantly by my Zeuses and all my pierce damage. The champion went in a suicidal spot, which helped me out a lot. That Warlock was getting attacked by something, but I don't... Maybe something died, and it's still alive there. So here I hold for the team. I don't do well, but I do hold for the team. And we do send level 15. This is what I needed to do on this level. I needed to push the Hydra in front. I needed something to protect this. Not very well done. I was relying on pushing these forward with my War Room. But I should have just... I could have made one Hydra in the front and it would have been fine. I'm not sure why I didn't do that. I think in the footage, I explained that I should have done that right as the level started. Just like how I did right now. With this roll, it's generally a good idea to make a lot of cults. Or it's always good to make cults for the late game. This is just me getting ready for Seraphim, so I'm making a whole bunch of cults. He's pretty much doing the same thing. He's gonna sack some of these Tuskers, sack some of these Warlocks, sack some of these Bone Warriors. But you see, this isn't good because... I don't think he was expecting Ascend here. So I don't see why make all these Warlocks. The thing is, it works if you're not expecting the Ascend. So yeah, what happens here is, as soon as that timer goes down for the level to start, you instantly send Demon, Infernal, Behemoth, and Kraken. You save around 4.2k in general. That way you also have enough for Rage. Demon, 1.5k crystals. Infernal, 1k crystals. This is 500. And Kraken is 600. If you do a little bit of math, Demon and Infernal are already 2,500. Kraken is going to put that up to 3,100. And then an extra 500 for the Behemoth. So that's why, with Rage, you should save around 4.2k for level 15 Send. And because we had some time and also more crystals in 4.2k, we were able to also send auras like Pudge Panda, and the small auras like Ferbs, Centurion, and Hermit. So that's what happened there. So this level I decided to make an Azure Dragon in the front. Still doesn't matter, it's still gonna die, I think. Yeah, it's not gonna do the best, the Mass Warlock's there. I believe he leaks, he almost holds here. Oh no, he holds. I didn't see that. Okay. So I really wasn't expecting a send here. They actually send 3 Infernals. Which is good for them. I think they leak 78, and they still don't... I believe we still don't get a heal out of this. Which is kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't think we get a heal out of this. So now they have all this delay to keep sending more and more. Like, some of them are already on their second Infernal. Someone just sent the second Infernal. Psyop did. There's the other Infernal. It's hard to hold Ascend versus 3 Infernals. This delay actually somewhat helps them, especially if they cleared pretty good and they had a holder. Yeah, and they don't even lose the heal. So this ended up working out really good for them. Because remember, we don't have any king. So if we make any mistakes, we're kind of vulnerable. So he makes 6 Dark Priests. That's usually the amount I make. 6 or 7. I save around maybe 10 to 12 Spectres before rerolling. I forgot to mention that earlier. Usually. Spectres, again, are for waves like level 20, level 25, level 26. They're good for endgame. We're gonna have to discuss endgame some other time. Because it's a lot to obviously learn about. So at this point, they get 3 Infernals each, which is going to be a very nasty send. And I actually was not expecting this. I saved a lot of gold. I think I was complaining about something that just I wasn't awake. I think that's what I was complaining about. I think I was complaining about my positioning with the Plague Spreader on level 14. And over here, I'm just not paying any attention at all. I still had 1k crystals to spend, and I didn't spend it. It could have mattered between holding better here, even though I wasn't expecting a send. The level 1 hero doesn't help either. Like, I could have easily gotten this earlier and upgraded it a little bit. I think it's because I made a big mistake here. I sacked the cults first to try to get Seraphim ready. The first thing you should do is always place the hero down, because he takes some time to upgrade. If you put him down right away, you could get a level 3 hero in 1 round. But I think on 17 for sure you can. I think on 16 you could too. I'm not sure why they're not insta-raging here. Because they literally knew we were sending on 15. Or we sent on 15. I'm not that bad here, but like again, saving 1k gold, I'm just not paying enough attention there. Like I said, I definitely was complaining about something in the footage. I wasn't complaining about my teammates, I think it was just my own doing. Like, on something I did. Yeah, so everything basically dies here other than my Zeus. The 3 Infernals are very tough. We leak, we don't leak the worst. Landmines still clear pretty good on level 16. So yeah, we have to go Dark Presence and King. My plan was to send on 17, but we didn't hold here, so... This send is very good for the other team because it stops us from sending. Which, in my opinion, this send alone helped them win the game. Right here. This is a huge win for the other team because it forces us to do King. In my opinion, it's a good send. We also do lose a heal, so... Without this send, like, let's say this send didn't work, they would be in trouble here. It makes Dark Ranger. So he did reroll. As I said, you makes... Oh, he actually makes 8 Dark Priest. Okay, that's interesting. He made 8 of them. I usually make 6 or 7. But I mean 8's still good. I mean, he probably knows better than me, so. So yeah, that alone, like I said, it's really good for the other team. We weren't able to reset on 17 because we had to do King. But yeah, there's not much to... When my teammates are doing stuff like this, it's kind of hard for us to hold levels. Like, I can't hold all of that, especially if I'm not playing the best. Like, 1,000 gold saved, and also I could have been preparing better for it, like making a hero and leveling it up. I only had level 1 Archmage. But yeah, this is something you don't want to do. This is way too many melee units in front of Seraphim. He's going to get body blocked like crazy. And I mean like crazy. You want to be reviving range units first. You don't want to make this many melee units. This is just not good to do. Let's take a look at what's going to happen here. Yep. We're going to take a look at his Seraphim. Look at where it goes. It's just too many melee units. He's going all the way here on the side. Fortunately, if he did go Spirit of Pain, I don't know if he did. It doesn't look like he did. Yeah, he didn't go Spirit of Pain. If he did go Spirit of Pain, this would have been good. Because you want... Oh, wait. He went Spirit of Faith, I think. I don't think I see Judgment here. Okay. So that's what he did. Over here, again, I forgot to upgrade Young Frost Dragon. He's still got landmines, so obviously he leaks. But yeah, having all these melee units is not the play. Oh, he did go Judgment, yeah. I don't know what that was then. I guess he did go Spirit of Pain. So I suggest 22, especially because I saw he made Gorgon. I did scout this. Can't go 20 because he's got Dark Priest. And he knows how to hold that with Dark Priest. He also made Dark Ranger. He's countering level 20 completely. I did not scout Dark Ranger, but I did scout that he had Dark Priest, so I'm not even going to try level 20. So he rerolls. He made the auras rerolled. That wasn't the best roll what he had. He did make the Magnetors, which was good. Obviously, he makes the auras. This is really fucking good for him, by the way. He gets tanks, and look at what happens. He gets Messiah. This is insanely good. He decided to make Dark Ranger before he even knew he would get Messiah. Either he is just a fucking wizard or an oracle, or... I mean, either way, Dark Ranger is still good. And he's got a lot of units to revive with here, so... That's one of the reasons why he went for the other build. Yeah, he's moving mid on this wave. That's a smart call. Usually you do it after level 17. Because level 17 is very difficult to hold when you're mid-build. This guy did end up leaking, but he did not have the best build. I think here... Yeah, I do this too as well. I forget to upgrade units. It just happens. Like, you're focusing so hard on making your Seraphim that sometimes you forget that you didn't upgrade this. So I understand. The other... Okay, he does call these dragons over, I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, he does. That's good. I forget to do this a lot, also. and I get tilted when that happens. But over here, this guy needed to help yellow a little bit. Because he went landmines, once he transitions to Seraphim, he's just not going to have the value to, he's lost so much gold from landmines in mid-game, he's not going to have the value to hold levels later. So, Orange needed to help him out here. He does not have enough to hold. And I believe he didn't really steal too much from Orange when he was stacking, because he only had like a few Azure Dragons. So my teammates were messing up a lot here. They leaked 17, 18. I was worried. I didn't want to go mid-build on level 19, even though I do have Colts. I probably still should have done it. Yeah. I should have done it. Because I have so much Pierce and a lot of good tanks for level 19. It was a really bad call by me. I should have definitely moved mid on level 19 here. Or even level 18, I should have prepared moving mid. Like what he did. But of course, he doesn't have to worry too much because, you see, his solo laner also stayed in the corner because it's just the right thing to do. To not move mid yet. As long as you have one guy not move mid and like hold the levels, just in case you do get a send. And this is just an excellent role for him. He gets the Doomsdays. It's really good. Over here, I'm just kind of... I'm not a big fan of what I did here. I just have way too many druids. I honestly don't know what I was doing here. And I forget about them, too. A lot of cults are good to make, but not all these druids. So, again, make a ton of cults. You can make like maybe 30 of them. That's a good number. For later in the game. This is always a good unit to make. They have a disabling spell. Unfortunately, I can't show you guys. But that's good to make. I made way too many druids. I need only like 3 or 4 of them. Again. And I already have warlocks. Also in this role. So yeah, this guy, I told him to surge. He still leaks because of his build. He has too many heralds in the front. I was just afraid they were going to send here, and I wasn't prepared for this wave. I was moving everything mid, so I end up surging. As you can see, I'm just not doing this well. It's just, I should have done this earlier. So I just surge. Afraid that they're going to send big. Because look at what my team has. They look completely dead on level 20. And there was also delay. So over here what happens is I'm rushing to move everything mid. And I forget that I have all these druids to sack. And they're literally worthless. Like, they're not worthless, but they're not good either to keep so many of them for late game. They're not going to do very well. I made a ton of magic damage, and this just isn't good, because it just weakens me for level 22, which they do end up sending on 22, the other team. This ends up being a race. A game where we race to see who wins on 22. Because we do save for 22, and so do they. Okay, so he stays corner. Which is interesting. I'm not sure why he decided to do this, but whatever he did works out really well. I think it's also because he has this build. I think it's very smart what he's doing. He didn't go for Spear of the Pain, so probably a good idea to not go mid with what he's doing. And he's also got all these melee units to revive. The Magnitors are good to revive as well after Zeus dies.
Job's done. Job's done.
Okay, fortunately they get Ents.
Upgrade.
A lot of good stunning for level 22. That's good for them.
Upgrade complete.
So now I see why they did better than us on level 22. So I think I've already made all the units that I needed to make. In this roll. So I think I do reroll. I just did a very poor job at rolling this game. I'm still moving stuff mid. Way too many mermaids, way too many druids. I've completely misplayed my roll. Doing this just makes you weak to so many levels. It's just a lot of value wasted, basically. You don't need this many mermaids, in my opinion. Like I said, I was kind of just brain dead this weekend. I was kind of just not playing well. Like, the focus really wasn't there. Like I said, I've had many instances where I literally wasn't pushing in the early game. Like, I couldn't even believe it when I saw it. Like, I was at 200 gold. Like, you gotta push right away. During levels. Like, sometimes I just, like, fall asleep like that. So he stays corner to try and hold level 21 better also. He's got a very good build here too. Like, this is a good build for staying in the corner. Yeah, this is an excellent roll. Especially if we're all preparing for level 22. It's an excellent roll. You got so much stun here. You've got Harpies to poison the creeps and slow them down. You've got another stun if you want that, but you could probably just go for Ents. When do I reroll? What the hell? Do I not reroll? My teammates mess up again. Which is okay, because I hold. Oh, it's just yellow. Yeah, I don't think this guy got enough help from... I mean, do we see any orange units here? I only see Keeper of Souls. Yeah, and he's just looking... We're just looking very weak on level 22. I mean, you can see that. It's a good... Very smart for the other team. This is a very good send by them to send here. And I've misplayed as well. I've made too many druids, like I said. So, I could imagine he's gonna make a whole bunch of Ents now, right? And Harpies, yep. Still making Phoenix for some reason. I think this guy should have rerolled.
Research complete.
Surge is definitely very smart. Very possible that we send here, and we did.
Job's done. Upgrade complete. Upgrade complete.
So yeah, this is actually very safe what he's doing, because he's playing, and I should probably do this too if I don't do Spear of the Pain. I don't have to go mid-build. So I would assume he makes a lot of Ents here as well. I don't, he has to do something to stun the creeps. I do end up re-rolling. I made Doomsday here. And I think I don't have that many priests. But here, what I wanted to share with you guys is if I actually decided to move mid on level 18, which I should have, because I still looked really strong on 19. I was afraid of 19, but I looked strong on 19. If I did that, I would have remembered that I had all these druids, and I would have sacked them. And I would have had a lot more of these Mercurials upgraded. Having these upgraded could have been useful here on level 22. That way I can make other units. Rather than just having druids that don't do much of anything on this wave. That's something to keep in mind. So I really messed this up, basically, by not getting rid of those and just rushing to get my level 20 Seraphim on one wave. Or, not rushing. I'm rushing to move mid. And just doing too much in one level is just not easy. Do they not make Ents? Oh, I guess I was wrong. They didn't make Ents. Wonder why they didn't do Ents. Harpies is definitely very good to make, but I thought for sure they'd make some Ents here. That's weird. Solo lane's the only one that surges here. So obviously, I get completely destroyed. I do also surge here. And I think orange surges. Oh no, yellow surges. But yeah, we're just not strong enough to hold here. It was a big send. There was a lot of delay. Also, the Archmage goes opposite of Seraphim there. I believe he still leaks, even though he surged as well. Because we really just had such a big send. I was thinking of going level 25, but it seems like these guys would have held anyways. He actually does really well here. He didn't even need the Ents. It's really just red leaking there, and I guess he leaks the champion. He held basically there.
Our forces are under attack.
Yeah, we get completely destroyed. They would have died here too, but look how much worse we did. So again, this is just a display of saving units. I didn't do it the best, as you can see. Too many druids, too many mermaids. All that value could have been into other units, like the Mercurials, or more priests, maybe. More riders. All of that stuff. Which is one of the reasons why we lost here, completely. So yeah, ever since that level 16, which was, in my opinion, a good play by the other team, 16 send was very good because it stopped us from sending and we had to do king. If we went 17, they could have been in trouble. Sure, they could surge, but we would be hurting the dual lane even harder if we were able to do 17. So, yeah, it just comes down to, I guess, being able to hold better, or also my teammates being able to hold better. One of the two. Yeah, I just wanted to show a more professional lobby, I should say. With actual pro players and what they do. Instead of like the last video where we had a whole bunch of like beginners. Even though that was a very good replay for you guys to see. Because It really shows you what you shouldn't do, basically. Like, it's very easy to just pinpoint a guy with a little bit, like, more experience than Reforged. Like, I can pinpoint and share my knowledge to show you guys why that's bad. And it's funny how I still made that mistake with Sea Giant in my game here, because I literally wasn't using my head at all. But it's funny. Yeah, these videos usually take an hour. Kind of like this one today. But yeah, there's not... It's a little bit difficult for me to explain this stuff in-game. Like, when's a good time to reroll? You know? Like, if you go back to the replay here, I'm not going to show the whole replay. But I'm not going to show it all over again. I just want to show you guys my first roll. Like, this one was definitely playable. I don't think I needed to really reroll this. I could have made Dragon. Maybe I would have needed to stay 1-0. I wanted to avoid 1-0 push and see what else I would get, because I'm going against good players. But if I wanted to play safe, I need the polar unit, make this, and then make maybe like 2 meat wagons behind it. And then we upgrade this for level 2. Like, it would just be high value, basically, if I were to play this first roll. But I guess it's still playable. I could have saved... Instead of 1 Malile, I could have probably had like 4 Maliles for endgame. Or, not endgame, later in the game, which could have mattered. And maybe an extra plague, too. I could have probably... I would have not made any priests, though. I needed to reroll. I probably would have had like 3 or 4 priests total with this. But yeah, this is only like... It's only what I could have explained through my rolls. It's not... I obviously can't explain all the units all at once. It's just what happened in the replay. But yeah, 12 to 16 Zeuses are pretty good. Save around 12 Spectres for later. Depending... Let's say you get Warlocks in your first roll, but you do have somewhat of a playable roll. I would just save like maybe 2, if you need to reroll for like level 6 or something. Just save 6, just save 2. You could, if you do get the units in the same roll, again, like when you reroll and you get the same units that you placed on the same round, you could always sell them. And I gotta get more into the habit of doing that. Like, let's say I made 12 Spectres on wave 5 because... Or before wave 6, let's say I made 12 Spectres and I rerolled. And I get it again in my next roll. I can just sell all those Spectres that I made on that same round. And I get 100% of that gold back that I spent to make those 12 Spectres. That's a good habit to have, of course. To just make them and then reroll just to see what you get. Obviously, I don't need the Spectres for level 6, so you can just sell them because you got them in your roll again. So just an example. But yeah, that'll be it for this video. It's really hard to like look at everything, it really is. I hope I covered most of that replay. Again, excellent play by the other team. They're pro players. Excellent play to go 16. I think that alone won them the game. And yeah, hopefully I can get another good replay where we can learn something out of it for the next video. So, take care for now. I'll see you guys later.